And now I'm going to go ahead and connect. So now it's showing me the Bluetooth devices that I've paired with. So prior to doing this, you'll need to make sure that Bluetooth is enabled and you've paired the device on the DarkStar with your Android phone. And so I'm going to select the DarkStar, which is this HC06. Now we see message connected, config data received. And now we're seeing the relative position. So we can tell from this right now the primary axis is fully extended. The secondary axis is, I don't know, about 1/3 of the way. You got the check box there indicating we're in manual mode. You'll see we go down here. Well, just before we go down here, let's go ahead and since we're in manual mode, I'll move the east actuator. You can probably hear that running, and in real time, basically, we can see the slider bar here is updated with the difference in the movement with the actuator position. And over here, it's displaying our east and west and north and south sensor values. And if we go down here, we'll see now, we can see that the park position on the primary axis is currently set to 108. The secondary axis is set to 250. Parking period is set to 4 minutes. Tracking runtime 34 seconds. Return runtime 201 seconds. Stall period minute 0.1, or excuse me, 1.1 seconds. And the park period is set to 1 minute at the moment. And we see here the daylight threshold, sunlight threshold, west-east balanced, south-north balanced. And I've got the analog input here for the wind signal floating right now, so we can just kind of see that value varying around. And I've got the trigger level high enough that that's not going to get triggered by our analog noise here on the floating input here. So let's take the park period. That's set to a ridiculous value right now. I'd like to set the value to 45. That's a good value. So right now, as soon as I touch the slider bar and change the value, we now have this set button that's visible over on the left. And so the data, we can play with the slider as we like here now, and the data is not being transmitted to the DarkStar until we go ahead and press the set button. And if we happen to scroll back up here, we can see it's displaying that yes, the park period was set in our status field. So you can change the stall period, make that a little smaller. So you can see it's very easy to set the tracking parameters here. So I'm going to go ahead now and switch back to auto mode, and we'll get a tracking event here. I'm going to be playing with the sensor here. There we go, stopped it. And so now it's displaying telling us that the next tracking update is in 3 minutes and 40 seconds and counting here. so we know exactly when the next update is.